Right? Verse 19. And Tamar put ashes on her head, and rent her garment, and of diverse colors that was on her. And she laid her hand on her head, and went on crying. Verse 20. And Absalom her brother said unto her, Has Amnon thy brother been with thee? But hold now thy peace, my sister. He is thy brother. Regard not this thing. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother Absalom's house. I'll end with this. Counsel. I don't know Absalom's motive, but Absalom said the worst thing and gave her, this chapter is full of bad advice. He said to her, keep quiet. He said to her, no, hold now thy peace. I wonder within myself if he was concerned about the image of the church. I wonder if he was concerned about the family name. I don't know his motive, and the Bible doesn't say. But what could have motivated him to tell her, just pretend it never happened? That's the worst advice you can ever give anybody. Because nothing that is swept under the rug stays there. One day, it will blow up and blow out. It goes under the rug, it's only compounded. You'll be amazed, people in their 70s, 80s, 60s, and above, taking the advice of Absalom, just pretending things not happening. But up to now, they can't sleep good at night. Up to now, tormented. Marriages in trouble. I've done so much counseling over these years. In trouble, and the root of the trouble go right back, not to the husband per se, no, to something that happened in childhood that was swept under the rug. But you see, if we're not careful as a church, that's what we see. Dress up, look good. Let's not talk about issues that I had a man of God that I respect and admire once say that church, Christians and church people are the hardest people in the world to confess. Now, we don't confess. Much of the evidence is there. The only how we confess is when it's too late. When the child comes to church and she's pregnant, that's when we say, Pastor, she wasn't staying after school for maths lessons only. We see things in our house and our family and we pretend and we say, shh. Remember, we have a family name to portray. We are the Browns. This young man, I don't know his motive, but this young man said to his sister, hush your mouth and pretend it never happened. For far too long, we leave the church like Absalom has been saying, shh, let's not talk about real issues in church. Let's just talk about picnic and events and the calendar for the year. Meanwhile, there are hurting people in front of us who need to be healed. So Tamar remained desolate in her brother's Absalom's house. For my studies, I'll check again. That was the end of Tamar. Beautiful, talented, profound, chaste. I believe she loved God, but she was damaged in the house of the Lord, and she was told, be quiet. Suck it up and be quiet. And she lived in a place of desolation all the days of her life. You'd be amazed how much desolate people drive in nice vehicles. You'd be amazed at how many desolate people living in mansions. How many desolate people with millions on their bank account. Dry. Desolate means dry, empty, going through the motion. How many persons in church dry, no matter how much drink you drink. And I am glad that I grew up on St. John Street. I didn't go up in church. I've partied, I've traveled the Caribbean, partying, woman, everything, you name it, been there. So I can relate to what desolation is. Wake up in the morning, prettiest woman in my bed beside me. Walk down the road, every man big me up. Nice, what go on? I've been featured in newspapers as a local fashion designer. But on the inside of me, desolate, dry. Remember what Jesus said to the woman at the well? If you believe on me, they're going to come a river springing up from the inside of you that you're not going to thirst again. This world, no matter what bling you get, no matter what asset you have, you're going to live in desolation until you've come to the fountain of life. Springing up on the inside of you, not your mascara. And we are cosmetologists. And God is a cardiologist. We love makeup and rouge and all this stuff and the nice up and it's okay. But God looking, we sang it this morning, or the young man read it, God looking at our heart.